What's going on, everybody? It's Tyler and Justin back here with the What's a Lock podcast. We're back with Week 5 NFL picks and predictions. It's a Thursday. We got a Thursday night game. Uh, we also got a little bit. We might flip over a little bit because there's a couple games on the slate that we might just skip over or talk a little bit about just because of injuries and stuff. But we might also talk a little bit of MLB because the playoffs are going on in the MLB. Um, yeah, might recap a little bit of last week as well. Big thing from last week. My biggest takeaways are, Bills, Eagles, 4-0, undefeated teams, only undefeated teams in the NFL. How do you feel about that, Mr. Justin?
I kind of figured, and there's a lot of, well, obviously it's great. Like that's kind of like my Super Bowl pick. It was my Super Bowl pick last year, Eagles versus Bills. But I will say, um, any Eagles fans out there, don't feed into the narrative of how ugly the games look, the wins look, because at the end of the day, first of all, it's the same thing that happened last year. Before the bye week, the Eagles were winning. They just weren't winning pretty. And it's September. Well, it's just now October, but every game has been September so far. It's fresh start of this, right at the start of the season. New offensive coordinator. Like it's going to look ugly. Um, that's just how it is. And just remember what happened after that bye week and how fast things got rolling. Um, and also a thing to note is, and this is no dig at the, but like obviously the Bills are doing what they need to do. Bills' opponents collectively have 2 wins. All the teams that they beat have a collective 2 wins between all 4 teams. The Eagles, just their last opponent, had more than 2 wins. So it's not like the Eagles are skating by against mid teams or bad. They're beating top tier teams. They're beating teams that will most likely win their division.
Well, when you consider the fact, it's early in the season. When you consider the fact that the Bills beat the Ravens and kind of added to their crap start, and on top of that, and we'll talk more about the Ravens for sure. But the Ravens have just had a really bad start to the season. Everything that you could have go wrong is going wrong for the Ravens.
Yeah. And honestly, the Steelers don't
Literally
look that
everything.
bad. They
Besides
definitely
maybe
pulled
the
it
running
together
game,
on
and
defense against the Vikings, and their offenses look pretty sharp 3 out of 4 games.
yeah.
So it's like, I think there's clear cut. Right now, there's a few divisions that almost look clear cut to me. Obviously, the NFC East is one of them. Obviously, the Bills are also one of them to win the AFC East. Um, I think the Steelers are probably closer clear cut at this point. Tampa Bay, they're going to be healthy. Atlanta is the closest team to them, and I don't think they're good enough to do it. Rams are probably clear cut as well. I think the 49ers are just too banged up, and then they just continue to get banged up. It's literally every year they get banged up. It's just how it works with the 49ers right now. Um, but yeah, as far as the Eagles wins, like they're beating good teams. Like they're not beating crap teams. They're beating the best teams in the NFL. Like the
Yeah,
boat like
no, they're doing
division
what they
winners.
should be doing.
So
They're doing what they should be doing. They have one of the
exactly.
best
And
rosters put together.
again,
As
it's the
long as they
early
stay healthy.
season, new offensive coordinator. It's not going to look pretty. But the fact is, they're stacking wins, and this is the hardest stretch of their schedule. Like eventually, you're going to get in that stretch where you're playing the
Who do you
Giants,
think?
and
Let me ask you this, Justin, because obviously the Eagles have been top dogs in the NFC for a while. Who do you think the closest competitor right now is to the Eagles? If you're Before we go into Week 5's picks and spreads,
one of the other clear cut winners, and that is Detroit.
Detroit. Okay.
Detroit is stepping into where they left off last year. They had one game slow start this year against Green Bay, and then they just started kicking ass since. They look very Detroit like now. Um, yeah, they're probably number two.
Yeah, I'd say honestly, I still think that the Chiefs somehow, some way, are gonna find themselves. I don't know how, dude. I don't know how they're gonna do it because they've looked like crap, but I think they're gonna find themselves in that same spot, and
Yeah,
we're gonna have to go through the Chiefs again. And I think the Bills can do it. The question is, can they? Right? That's the question. So
It's ironic that when Xavier Worthy comes back, they get better, but also they didn't really use Xavier Worthy a ton. So it's kind
yeah,
of
I mean
weird that that doesn't make
they
sense.
handled the Ravens like it was nothing. I
Yeah,
mean,
and they didn't even really use Worthy. I mean, he got minimal touch. I mean, it was really I mean, it was mainly. I mean, Travis Kelce had a couple big catches. Hollywood Brown, I think he got in the end zone. Juju Smith-Schuster was like I think their lead receiver or something like that. Like, doesn't even
yeah,
make sense. But
Mahomes was not losing another game at home, bro. He was just not gonna do. He was just not gonna have it happen. It was just not gonna happen that game.
yeah, as
But
far as the NFC
yeah,
goes, I think
okay,
Eagles and Detroit are 1 and 2, and I think it's a pretty big gap to number three. And I think it's the same with the AFC. I think Bills and Chiefs are 1 and 2, and I think it's a pretty solid gap between three. So
right. So a few things to mention really quick before we get into Week 5 picks. Week 5 is the start of buys, so there are 4 teams on buys this week: the Packers, the Falcons, the Bears, and the Steelers. So they are not playing this week. So obviously we won't be talking really much about them. We can talk a little bit about a couple of those if you want, just like based on last week, because I mean I can
you
tell
want to talk
you.
about how you did last week, like as far as winnings?
Yeah, like just because we won't talk about it much this week. The Packers, that game against the Cowboys was freaking insane. Ended in a tie, like absolutely. I thought that was just absolutely crazy. And then
I had a same
now
game
that's two
parlay,
weeks.
and I only missed because Miles Sanders came up short. He got injured, and he came up short by 2 yards. That I had him for 10 rushing yards, which was I thought an easy line, but he ended up getting injured. Um, but outside of that, I actually had a really good week. Like the Thursday game, Arizona and Seattle. I ended up smashing that one. I made like 100 and something dollars on that night, and then between Sunday and Monday, I made another 130 or something like that. So it was like a $250 a week. So it was a good week for me.
Yeah, no, betting wise, it was amazing for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I Packers have just been. I mean, for the Pack, this must have like this. This is like a great spot for the Packers to get a bye week because they're coming off of not only losing to the Bengals or the Browns 2 weeks ago, but then tying somehow in overtime in a game where they really, honestly, very easily could have lost. I mean, honestly, they should have lost that game, but it is what it is. I mean, both sides really had so many chances. It's like insane. Like nobody came out winning, but kind of don't like ties in the NFL. I don't know about you, but I don't like not having a winner. Like what the hell is the point of a tie? Like
Yeah.
there's no outcome. Like I mean, what does it add up to at the end of the season? It doesn't add up to anything. It's negative. Like it's almost negative against you. It's like I don't know. Just doesn't. It's not a
I did
positive
love
thing.
George Pickens. I don't. Did you see George Pickens' reaction to the overtime? He's like, I didn't even know that that's how it worked. The tie.
No,
He's like, I didn't
I
even think that
agree, dude.
existed. Like he was so
Yeah.
confused.
And then I think who is it? Who was it that was saying that they don't like the rules? Like I forgot who it was, but I don't like it either, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do that, but anyways, yeah, I think honestly this is a great spot for the Packers to get that bye week because of that, right? I mean, now they can have an extra week off, prepare for the next team, and really just kind of lock in and try to get that win. Because yeah, I mean they're now at the point where they're kind of falling behind. I mean the Lions are kind of pulling ahead, so. If they do, pull ahead and they end up because I think who won that game? I think the Lions won that game against the Packers, right? Or did the Packers win? I don't
Uh,
remember.
against the Lions,
Yeah,
the Packers did win.
yeah. So, I mean, it might come down to like a game two.
But I think that was just the Lions getting comfortable with their offensive coordinator because they look completely different now. I mean, week 1 to week 2 through 4 is like night and day. So,
Yeah, and Packers
and
won.
as you can see, if Dallas can put up 40 on the Packers, I bet you Lions are probably capable of putting up 70 on them. Like it's
Yeah, so they're gonna. I mean, they're just gonna have to turn things around a little bit, but obviously, I still think the Packers are gonna be a good team. Um, But and I would say like for the Falcons, probably a good spot for them to get a bye as well. I mean, they're coming off a nice win over the Commanders. That was impressive. I kind of smelled that one coming because they looked so bad. I mean, how do you can't even look worse than how you played against the Panthers. I mean, how do you go score this against like one of the worst defenses in the NFL? Like
Yeah.
that was terrible. So they had to look better last week, so I'm impressed. But I'm impressed the way they won. They handled it well. They won handily and convincingly. So that was good. The
I do
Bears,
want
I
to
feel
say,
like yeah. Go ahead.
before we go, yeah, sorry. So if you guys listen to the last pod, my game of the week was the Colts versus the Rams. And I just want to sum up that I think the Colts are legit. They kept it a game the whole time. They were going tit for tat against the Rams. Um, it ended up being a one possession game. And to be honest, if Adonai Mitchell doesn't drop that ball
Oh
going
yeah,
into the end zone, they might. I mean, we're having a different conversation.
yeah.
But the Rams did win. But I think the Colts are legit. I think they actually are good. I think that probably answered my question.
No, I think they
And it
I
was a
think they
great
are
game to
too.
watch. It was fun. Like again, Adonai Mitchell, if he doesn't drop that ball, I think we're having a different conversation. I think they might win that game. Um, so again, it was a great game overall, and I think the Colts are a legit team in the AFC. So I will say, like, as far as number three in the AFC, like, it might be the Colts. It might be the Colts.
Yeah, no, I mean they certainly know. They definitely are doing a great job of whatever they're
Yeah.
doing down there with Daniel
It's the
Jones
sim- it's the
is
same
working.
thing with
So
like when Saquon Barkley left the Giants and he had his monster year. Well, I think you're about to see the same thing from Daniel Jones. I think you're about to see however many years of being stuck on the Giants bottled up. I think you're just about to see that bottle get opened and just unleashed. And I think
yeah, that
that's
was
what we're seeing
crazy.
right now.
I mean, and to I mean, for the Giants, man, what a win for them, right? I mean,
Yep. Jackson
they
Dart,
Jackson Dart looked
Cam
good.
Scatabo, the freaking
I
marker
mean,
sniffer.
yeah, I
Dude,
mean, I still think they're, and it wasn't, and like Jackson Dart even said, I mean, it wasn't pretty. They didn't necessarily look great, but
none of
because
the
I and
teams
I
look
still
pretty
don't,
right now. Like
and I still
even
don't think their
Josh
offensive
Allen
line is
is through
good.
his first pick. Like no teams are looking pretty right now. I just want to point
Yeah.
out it's September. You're not going to really see the good teams look dominant until towards probably November. Usually after Thanksgiving is when you start to see like ass whoopings and like that. That's usually where right now it's just kind of like stacking wins. It's early in the season. You're not trying to do too much to put um, your top guys in the harm's way. I mean, if you just look at what Miami just did, and
Right.
Purse or Tyreek Hill, Jesus Christ. But like like that's a bad team, so you kind of expect that. The good teams are not trying to do that to their good players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, like I think that's why we're not seeing a lot of AJ Brown, and uh, I think as the season goes along, you're gonna see a lot more of that picking up.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Bears. I still feel like they're kind of a fraud team. I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, but good for them getting two in a row.
And it's more the Caleb Williams part for me. But like I don't know what to expect from them at this point.
I mean, they're
And
not gonna win the
kind of the same
division.
thing with the
I mean,
Steelers, honestly.
say that
Kind of the
right
same
now.
thing with the Steelers. Although the Steelers did have a nice win, so maybe their defense
They also
will
have a better
get better.
roster, in my opinion. I mean, they have good receivers. I think obviously DK Metcalf is great, and Calvin Austin's not bad either. They have two good tight ends. They have Jonnu Smith and Pat Fryermuth, who I think are both two solid tight ends. I think
Yeah.
Jalen Warren's a good running back. They probably should get someone better than Caleb Johnson to like back him up, but um, outside
I
of
just,
that,
I
I mean,
mean, in terms
their
of the bye
defense
week
is
placement
stacked.
at week 5, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm not sure what to expect from these teams going forward. But
I mean, there's a pretty good chance that the Steelers probably take the division, just based on. I mean, Lamar Jackson is probably gonna be out a couple weeks. Hamstrings are usually like 3 to 4 week injuries. So if the
Yeah,
Steelers can stack up wins, there's a good chance they pull away with the division. And obviously, the Bengals are probably out of it. And
they could. They could. I just
'cause, I mean,
got,
the
and
Browns aren't
I
even in
also
it, I
don't
don't
know if
think.
I trust Aaron Rodgers all that much. I really don't. At the end of
Unless
the
the
day.
Browns get something figured out on offense, like their defense is good enough to stop a lot of offenses. But like they have no offense, so
Yeah.
I don't know if the Browns magically happen to have a good offense, and we'll see what happens because they did announce that they're benching Joe Flacco. So you never know, but I mean their offense would have to make a whole 360-degree turnaround for them to do much. But I mean they did they do have I mean Browns have won at least one, right? They won against the Packers.
Yeah.
So I mean
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think they're. Yeah. I mean, we'll see, but I think honestly, I think the Ravens still come out on top somehow in that division, but we'll see. I guess with that, we can kind of go into week 5. We obviously starting with tonight's game. We have the Rams and the 49ers. Do you have any like bets for tonight's game so far? Or do
I
you,
do have I have a parlay like kind of in the making. I do have two lines that I've been looking at a lot. One is well, Kendrick Bourne for 4 receptions is at -150 right now. I think that's a really easy line for a decent number. Uh, Obviously Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall are both ruled out. Um, no Brock Purdy, but that doesn't mean anything because to be honest, I think Mac Jones probably throws a little bit more. So because Brock Purdy has a little bit more mobility to him, so I actually really like that line. You could probably, I mean, he's going to be the number one receiver today. Demarcus Robinson is going to be in too, and you might be able to find a decent line for him too. Um, Receptions will be tough. 3 receptions maybe. Uh, for Demarcus Robinson, it's -106 for 3 receptions, so that might be okay too. But Kendrick Bourne, I think he had like 4 last week, and that was when uh, Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings were both playing. So I like Kendrick Bourne a little bit more here. Uh, so there's that. Also like Kyron Williams for receptions. Um, this is more of a parlay line for me, so it's -200. So it's not like something I would make as a single. But 2 receptions for -200, I think, is a fairly easy and nice little parlay booster. So those are the two I'm kind of eyeballing.
okay, yeah, I don't mind those. My looks were more on the total and the kind of the side, I guess.
I mean, you can't really. Obviously, I would. It's not really worth taking the Rams money line, but
My lean is definitely towards the Rams. As far as the spread, I definitely lean towards the 7.5. Um, the reason being mainly because of the Rams. The Rams offense has been pretty elite over the last couple games. And my biggest problem with the 49ers is that they don't create any pressure. They're currently right now 27th in blitz rate. They only blitz the quarterback 21% of the time. And they only get pressure on the quarterback 32% of the time when they at all. And they're 23rd ranked with that. Yeah, well, yeah. All right. And then time to pressure, they're averaging is 2.61 seconds per time. Time to get pressure, and that's also 26 range. So they're just not a really good blitzing team. And then on top of that, the Rams can run the ball. They can not only run the ball really well, but if you don't pressure Matthew Stafford, like that's the one thing that Matthew Stafford does really well is if he stands in the pocket, he is going to make the throws cleanly and he makes them accurately. So that's my concern for the 49ers is more on the defense because they don't create pressure. They haven't been great stopping the run. Last week, the Jaguars ran for 156 yards. So,
The only reason I
I
would
mean,
take like San Francisco's spread is because for some reason, even when they lose, they've been keeping
yeah,
it close this year. I don't know how they're doing it,
yeah.
but
Yeah, and I have not bet. I'm not going to bet the 7.5 because I don't like 7.5. So, my lean is for the total. I lean to the over, because I do think there's a avenue for the 49ers to score. I mean, like you said, Mac Jones can't. I don't think he's going to be much of a downgrade from Mac Jones. But if Mac Jones were playing, this line probably moves closer about a point and a half. Point and a half. So. That's why I'm not going to touch the spread. So I think either one can, potentially move the ball and put up some points towards this over. And honestly, I'm getting a 44.5 now. So I think that's pretty decent. Um, and it's pretty low. Like it's a mid 40. I think that's a very good total to take for an over, especially when both sides are, likely to score. I just think the Rams' offense is better in a better spot. They're at home, in a better spot to win. They have the better offense, better defense. Um, I think it's kind of a Rams spot for me. So what I'm gonna do betting wise, I'll tell you is I'm gonna tease the total and the Rams spread. So I already have it set up. I have a here. Let me go back to it. I just had it set up. I have over 36 and a half and um, Rams minus 2.5. You can do that for minus 150 and then you can boost it. You can boost it and you can add, if you wanted to, you can add another leg, but you can do that. And essentially you're getting that total a little bit lower and you're getting the Rams at a decent spread. Because I do think the Rams are going to cover that. And they're like, we've talked about how teams that are heavily favored have done really well this year. They haven't necessarily covered the spread all that often, but they do tend to win the game. So I think this is a Ram spot at home for me. I just don't think like the 49ers are still dealing with injuries that we don't. Brock, obviously, I don't think. Again, we've talked about Mac Jones. That's not going to make a huge difference. But Ricky Persson, questionable.
I think he was
You
ruled
said
out.
he's rolled out. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I just, I'm not too confident in the 49ers, but I think they at least can contribute to an over in somehow because it's a division game. You know how these games kind of go.
yeah. I mean, they still got Christian McCaffrey and
Oh, the other
Brian
thing
Johnson
I didn't talk about is
or Brian
the
Robinson.
one more thing too is both of these teams, as far as pace, just offensively pace. Believe it or not, they're actually both top five offenses in pace. So that's another thing I like towards the over, just because they're fat. They're both actually very fast paced offenses. They run the ball and they get to the line quick. They typically are just fast paced offenses. So yeah, I do like that. But other than that, that's really all I have. As far as like touchdown scores and stuff, I don't really have any like player props. I guess I don't mind like
Kyron
Matthew
Williams.
Stafford. Well, I don't mind like passing touchdowns for Matthew Stafford just because he towards the red zone they do target Puka Nacua a little bit more, and Devontae Adams. And I think once it gets down to that red zone area, it's going to be a little bit more condensed. They'll probably focus a little bit more on Kyron Williams. So I think they're more likely to kind of try to stop the run and force him to pass in that situation. So I actually like the Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. I don't really have ton of faith in this 49ers defense, to be honest. So I'm all over just the Rams scoring, in general.
Yeah. We can run through these the other games and
Yep. Next game we have is the Vikings and the Browns. This one is in London, so that's the one thing we have on that. The Vikings obviously playing last week in Ireland, now going to London, so that's kind of weird.
it
But
kind of works in their benefit though because they have a little like they have that overseas like experience right now.
yeah,
I mean, think of like the Jaguar. Was it the Jaguars last year who played two back-to-back overseas games?
Yeah.
And they were able to win both. I think having that like feel for that the whole it's a whole different environment, um, atmosphere. I think that kind of works in their favor, which I guess is why this line is skewed because obviously the Vikings have not been looking great, and especially against a Browns defense that their main strength is their pass rush. We've seen what that Vikings line is not capable of. Um, so I have a funny feeling that uh, Carson Wentz might get banged up a little bit in this game, dude. I'm
Well,
fearing for his life right now.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Betting wise, I have nothing on this game right now.
I mean,
I
the
do
only
not
line, the only
have
offensive
anything.
line I can think of that might be worse than the Vikings right now is the Texans. Um,
Um, I just don't. I don't. I mean, after last week with Carson Wentz, he was just getting smacked around back there. And
and
then
it only gets worse this week, dude.
Jordan Mason looked okay, but then he's putting the ball on the ground, fumbling, and Justin Jefferson had himself a decent game. He had like 10 receptions or something like that. Like he had a pretty decent game, but I still like the Vikings here because the Browns are just so bad. I mean, their offense is terrible. We haven't even really talked about how bad the Browns offense is, but God, I mean, they
Yeah,
need
but
to
if their
do something
defense is
about
able
Joe
to hold the
Joe
Vikings
Flacco,
to
dude.
10 points or
They need to
below,
do something because Joe Flacco is not it, bro. they need to do something, bro. Like they need to just say fuck it and give one of these other younger guys a chance at this point because Joe Flacco, we already know he's not the guy, bro. He's just not
no,
it, bro.
they are
He's just
benching
ass, bro.
Joe. They did announce they're
He's
benching
plain
Joe
ass.
Flacco. He's not
So
going to be playing. It's going to be
that's just
the
how
not
I see
Shadur
it.
Sanders. It's going to be I forgot his fucking name, but
So whenever that happens, it's going to be the other team for me, and I mean, as far as spreads, it's going to come down to how confident I feel in that team. But I can't possibly get to a Brown side because I don't think they can score. I don't think they can score, despite how, not the Vikings defense has been like iffy. It's been like week to week. It's been, and I feel like a lot of defense have been that way. Ultimately, I do think the Vikings are going to be a good, well-rounded defense. So I just can't get to any Brown side of things. I just don't see them,
yeah.
doing anything offensively.
The only thing is I'd
So
probably take the under on this game.
yeah, I don't mind an under,
I
honestly,
know it's a really
whatever it
low
is.
line, and respectfully so. Uh, but even then, like I mean,
Even Browns team total
I
under. I
think
just
that
don't have any faith
the
in the Browns.
Lions
Faith in
in
the
the Browns
Browns.
game went under 36 points. I mean, think about that. And the Lions are obviously a much higher caliber offense than the Vikings right now. So, I mean, if that game went under 36 points, you can kind of expect this game to go under. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
And I don't
even
expect this
Packers
to be
too.
the game. Yeah, and with that, and with this game being in London, I don't expect this to be the game where they go ahead and start Shadir Sanders or one of the. They have another young quarterback that they drafted
No,
that,
that's who they're
you know.
starting. Again, Joe Flacco is not playing. He's not playing
Oh,
this
he is.
weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he already got benched. They announced it like
All
three
right,
days
good,
ago.
good. I'm like,
No Joe Flacco.
oh wait,
I forgot the dude's
I'm
name.
seeing Dylan Gabriel
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. That's who it is. That's his name.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, at least that's something. I don't know. At this point,
Which that being
it's tough
said, it's
with that.
almost making me lean towards Browns. I know,
Yeah,
like you never know what happens. Like he could have just one good game and then the rest be horrible. But sometimes when these quarterbacks come in, they get like that one weird good game. Like
yeah.
think of when Tommy DeVito came in like 2 years ago. Dude made a splash and then all of a sudden just dropped off. But like he won his
Okay.
first like what 2 3 games.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and with the Browns defense definitely being able to hold, they're more than capable of being able to hold the Vikings. Um, probably without a touchdown. I mean, the
Yeah,
Vikings.
I don't
I
know.
mean, yeah,
It's a
it's
tough
very.
spot. It's
It's
still like over. I mean, I wouldn't have expected them to do it when they're going overseas. So I mean, I have no idea what to expect from this game. Even still,
yeah,
you
it
got a
is a
rookie
tough game.
quarterback going overseas in his first NFL game.
The only
don't.
thing I'm comfortable in is the under. I just like
Yeah,
for this
I
one.
can't. I cannot do it.
We can move
But
on then.
yeah, I guess with the next we can just move on to the Sunday games. With that, we got the Raiders and the Colts for this first game. We kind of talked about the Colts a little bit. Yeah, the Colts are legit. I mean, that's the end of the story, and they're at home here in this spot.
That's
They
why
got
the
the
line
Raiders coming in.
shredded, dude. Minus 310.
Yeah, it's yeah. You're gonna have to take a full touchdown spread if you want to bet them.
Which isn't too. It's not too crazy.
No,
They
no, I
they
think it's decent. I
you know.
definitely lean towards that side. At this point with the Raiders, like I've tried with the Raiders, and I like Ashton Genty. I think he's really got some great upside to him. Last week I showed you my bet slips. I don't know if you saw him, but I had him for 1+ touchdown. But then when he scored the first touchdown, I bet on the 2+ touchdowns, and he hit on that. Um, and
Too bad you
it
didn't
was
go
just
for a
nice plus
third
money.
because you
But
ended up
each
getting a
time,
third.
yeah, each time, yeah, I didn't do a third one just because I don't like doing that. But at least for two, both of them were plus money. It was great. Um, I think because I had both of them boosted anyways. But yeah, it was a good hit. But anyway, like I do like Ashton Genty. I think he's got upside. But the problem is, the pass blocking for the Raiders has not been great. Geno Smith has been really doing what he hasn't done in a while, like really for his whole career, is turning the ball over a lot. Like he's been usually pretty good about it, but lately he's just been bad. So, and he's a little bit on the older side, had some injuries issues. I just don't know what to really expect out of him. And now you're getting a team that's really fired up. Obviously has a big kind of fire under their ass, if you will, and it's going to be tough to put that out, on the road. I mean, I just don't see that happening on the road here.
Yeah.
I think
I don't have
Daniel
any player
Jones.
props, but I kind of do like it. I might mess with the spread a little bit, but I actually don't horribly mind
And it's
a
not really
touchdown
like all
game.
Daniel Jones. Like they can. The thing is, they can run the ball too.
No,
They have a
yeah,
good
they have a
offensive line,
yeah.
so like
Jonathan Taylor is
they're
probably a
really
top
set
three
up.
running back. It's probably him,
Um,
Saquon, and Derrick Henry in the top three.
yeah, so they're really well set up. I just, yeah, I would definitely lean towards the Colts, and my pick is definitely Colts.
Yeah.
I may play the 6.5. I may like tease it and play it in a teaser or something like that, but that's definitely my play for sure.
Next game is an interesting one, and here's why. Next one's the Giants and the Saints.
Yep.
Um, I Giants are somehow the underdogs, and I think they've been. I mean, just overall, I think they've been playing better than the Saints. Even without Jackson Dart starting. I know it's it's in New Orleans. Giants plus 102 is tempting, dude. I really like that. Um, I think they're off. I think with the young guys they have with Cam Scadaboo and Jackson Dart, like they, I mean, obviously, I don't think the Saints are good at all,
Yeah.
and neither are the Giants by any means. But
Yeah.
they have a little bit more firepower, right? They're coming off of a big win. They kind of got that like I don't know team adrenaline, I guess, or momentum. Um, I don't know if I would take the over necessarily, but I kind of like this Giants line plus 102 for the money line. I mean that's a big line. That's a
Yeah.
good one.
Well, so yeah, to be honest, and I know, before the season, I was on the Giants, to be a pretty decent team. I know their front seven is can and probably will at some point be a top seven unit, top five, top seven unit, because they're really talented up there. But I do have some worries in their back end, and you know, the thing about, I mean, the Giants are still on the road in this spot, and the thing I would just worry about their offensive line still. The New Orleans defense is not great, but they're kind of like the Bills defense. They're opportunistic. They can make a play or two every now and then, and Cameron Jordan can still get down. He can still get sacks. He, despite his age, he's like one of the oldest DNs in the game. I think he is the oldest. He's still getting sacks in the game. I sacked Josh Allen last week. So he's still getting out there and doing his thing. I don't know if I really trust the Giants here. Yeah, you're right. It is tempting because like you feel like the
Yeah,
Giants
I'm
might
not
have
saying
like
it's
a
an
head of
absolute
steam.
lock. It's just I'm looking at it, and there is a
Um,
possibility I do it just for like a if I make like a for kicks and shiggles line like I did last week. What I do last week? I had the Darren Waller for 3 receptions. It was plus 350, and I was like, let's do it, and I ended up hitting on it. So it was like, and then again, it's right back to the Giants where like I know they've been hit and miss, but this is another one of those things where I might just throw it in just for fun. Because I
so
mean,
I
yeah,
mean, and the other thing that because the books are usually pretty accurate on these lines. Like yeah, there's some spreads that are off sometimes, but like as far as like where they initially put them at, I think like they're usually pretty accurate. In this one, they have the Saints favored by a little tiny bit because they're at home. Um, you have to also remember like this team, and this is no reason for me to bet it or anything like that. I would not bet this because I don't like the Saints, and I don't think they're good. But the Saints are also 0-8 in their last home game, their last 8 home games, and they're like 3-11 in their last 13. They're really bad. It feels like a spot where they can get their first win. Um, because they do have some talent. I mean, Alvin Kamara is still doing his thing. Chris Olave at least is still playing, so
leads the
that's a
NFL in
decent
targets. I think.
sign. I mean, last year he was injured the whole season, and so was Shaheed. So, for me, it's a Saints spot, honestly. But I'm not. There's no way I'm betting it. Um, just because of the line, I feel like it's going to be. I feel like the Saints are going
The
to
only
somehow
thing
win this
about
game.
it is like they do have some offensive power, but like Spencer Rattler, I think we can all agree. I don't think he should be a starting quarterback. Um, and not only should he not be a starting quarterback, but the Saints refuse to put him on the bench. Um, but
Yeah.
also
But we've
they
also seen struggles out of that Giants secondary. We've seen struggles
yeah,
out of it
and
already.
the worst part is though is the Saints have one of the better running back. I mean, yeah, Alvin Kamara is still a beast. Like if you give him the ball, like he is a beast. But it's like they're refusing to give him the ball. He gets very minimal touches. There's games where he goes under ten rushes. Like it's weird that they're having Spencer Rattler of all quarterbacks throw 40
Well,
to 50 times a game. I don't like that.
yeah.
And I think that's why they're losing games is because they're relying on a quarterback that really shouldn't be a starting quarterback. Throw 40 to 50 times. I just don't love it. I think that's just stupid. Um,
Yeah, like I said, it's not a spot where I bet it, but I lean towards the Saints honestly, just because I feel like it's like almost like a trap line for the Giants. Um, but if you're on the Giants, I can't blame you. I mean, yeah, no, I mean they have. I think at the end of the day, the Giants probably may have a better record than the Saints, even if they lose to that game on Sunday. I just don't think it's a great spot for the Giants on the road again. Um, you know, uh, like and you're getting a team that you haven't seen before with an offensive line that's not good, defense that's kind of week to week, if you will. I just don't love the spot, but yeah, that's my. So I mean, betting wise, I have nothing on that game, but
yeah, I mean neither right
yeah,
now. Next
I do
game.
have something for the next one though. Next one I
Well,
have is
yeah, I
Eagles.
definitely will.
Eagles -3.5 is my play. Um, I don't know if anybody watched Monday Night Football, but obviously the Broncos kind of rolled over the Bengals, and that's mainly because that defense just shredded Jake Brown, and we saw, I had
Dude, Bengals
some type of
suck.
confidence in the Bengals. And I thought Jake Browning would look better against man coverage, but he was just getting sacked all night, and that offensive line is just not good. So, but at the end of the day, I've seen struggles out of Bo Nix, and I also I don't think Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos are going to be, um, like top dogs or anything like that. Especially in the division, I think the Chiefs are going to end up somehow coming through, some way in that division, either the Chiefs or the Chargers. But I just don't think the Broncos are legit, really. At the end of the day, so defensively they're good, but the Eagles are the best roster in football. So I mean, why are we getting a 3.5 at home? It just feels like
It's
it's
because
going
of
to be like a touchdown
all the
game.
bitching about how
Um,
they've started the season, which I don't see the issue, but it's
So I definitely am gonna play the 3.5. I think I just don't have a lot of faith in Bo Nix. He when he and the thing is like when he gets we talked about Matthew Stafford, like when he gets a clean pocket he makes those throws. Dude, Bo Nix when he gets pressured he is fucking ass, dude. He's just like Matthew Stafford. He's terrible under pressure. And guess what? Guess what the Eagles do? They blitz and they pressure, right? And they're one of the best teams at pressuring the quarterback. So I don't understand why the line is 3.5. I really don't. Um, so that's where I'm at. I'm definitely going to play Eagles minus 3.5 team total. I don't mind the team total. The thing is, yeah, the Broncos, like, I think better side is the defense. So if you're playing the team total, I guess you're going to have to be confident in the Eagles scoring. At the end of the day, I think they can. But I definitely lean towards just the spread.
I mean,
And
don't base it off of the Bengals game because obviously the Eagles have one of, if not the best offensive line. So
it's
I
more about the
actually don't hate
defense
the
for me.
over on this game either. It is kind of a low over for an Eagle. I mean, every single Eagles game up to this point has gone over 43.5. So I actually don't hate the over. Um, and it's a 1 o'clock game, so that almost makes me jump
The
into it
Eagles'
even more.
defense has been really good, though. I mean, their
Yeah,
pass defense has been
that's another
top
thing.
ranked,
Um,
which I didn't honestly think it was gonna. I didn't think they would be like a top ranked pass defense
oh,
unit
I
right
knew,
now. But I
I
think
knew
the
it.
reason why is because they're able to create pressure, right? And when you're able to do that, especially when you have against a guy like Bo Nix, I think you're going to be able to cause issues. But when you're able to do that, it's going to make things easier for the pass defenders, the corners, and the safeties, because they don't have to guard as long, right? I mean, if you're coming off the line, you're getting pressure within 2 fucking seconds. I mean, how the fuck are you going to find a guy open? Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you better hope somebody blows
Jordan
coverage.
Davis has been a freaking monster this season. I just like might be one of the most improved players I've seen from 1 year to the next. I mean, the dude lost 30 something pounds, and he's just a different monster this year. He's doing things on defense, special teams, forcing fumbles, blocking kicks, and running them back for 70. Like, dude's been on one this year, and I think this is going to be another one of those games you might see uh, his name get called a lot. I will say this is not a betting thing, but just for the game, like you're seeing probably, in my opinion, the best corner and the second best corner, and I'm not sure which one's which going uh, opposing defenses. I think um, as far as reliability, Quinyon Mitchell is he's making himself a one of if not the best cornerback in the league. He's so consistent. Like every week, if you see his targets and receptions allowed and yards allowed, it's so good. It's so good. He's so good. Um, and I think it's going to be a fun little thing to see him versus Pat Surtain on the other side. Um, fun little cornerback matchup. I think it'll be a good one.
Yeah.
um,
So
but yeah, I guess
um,
my line right now, I'm honestly debating the over. Like I said, Eagles have every Eagles game up to this point has passed the over, and yeah, so I'm kind of eyeballing that.
it's not bad. Yeah, I'll my pick is definitely on the spread, and I like the Eagles, but yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. Next one we got
Quinyon Mitchell
Cowboys
player
and
of the year.
Jets. Cowboys. Yeah, I mean we talked a little bit about that game. That game that ended in a tie.
I don't
Um,
think this one's ending in a tie.
no, yeah, and I've seen actually. So this line has moved. The Cowboys opened at minus 125. Now it's minus 142. So there's definitely some Dallas money coming in. I can see why, but I don't think I'll play it to be honest. Yeah, I mean I think the Cowboys are the better team. I just don't think the Jets head coach is very good, and I just don't think their defense is very good either. So ultimately, I think the Cowboys can go out there. If they can go out there and put 40 up on the Packers, they can go out there and put up 40 on the Jets. And I just don't think the Jets are cut out for that right now. So um, even at their best. So I think it's going to be a Cowboys spot for me, but the line is already to a point where it's like, yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's not like that profitable to take like a money line. So, I mean, -2.5, you can play it. You know, we know the Jets, they find weird ways to cover spreads, and the Cowboys find weird ways to crap away games. So, for me, I don't know if I'd play the spread, but yeah, I lean towards the Cowboys money line for sure.
Yeah, I also agree with that. That's probably the one thing I was looking at too, is the Cowboys money line.
And the Cowboys
Um,
defense has just not looked good, so I don't
it's
know
not a
what the
horrible
Jets are
line at
going to
all.
do. But I just don't like the Jets' offense. Like they didn't look good against a bad defense last week. You know, and the
But I would
Dolphins,
definitely
even
take the
though it's
Cowboys
division,
to cover too. Like, I mean, you're talking about a field goal game right now.
it's
I
a
think
field
that,
goal game. But yeah, both teams find weird ways to friggin'
like, I do think the Cowboys
boost us.
offense is
So
more than capable of putting 40 on the Jets. Or not 40. Sorry, they put up 40 against the Packers. I'm more than confident that Dallas can put up numbers against the Jets. Um, and I don't think the Jets are even close to the Dallas
but
Cowboys on offense.
is it
I
a
think
trap spot though for the Cowboys? You know, I mean their defense has not been good at all either. You know, and like I don't know, it feels like it might be a trap spot, but
but a
yeah,
field
I
goal
still think
game. I mean, even if it came to a game-winning field goal, like all it takes is a Brandon Aubrey field goal to cover that. So I would still. I think 2.5 is a beautiful line for this game. Minus
yeah.
112. I think I probably will end up taking that, but I don't have any
Uh,
player props right this side. Probably George. Well, no, I don't even know about George Pickens. I might just take Javonte Williams, to be honest. Um, yeah, we can move on to the next one,
yeah, we got Texans, Ravens. Big thing for this one is Lamar's not playing. Obviously, they have Cooper Rush starting.
which is
Uh,
kind of why I'm probably gonna stay away from this game for the most part. I know
and
I know Nate Wiggins got injured last game too, so if anything, I might take Nico Collins for some yards, but even that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how the Texans. Yeah, I mean, I know Cooper Rush is starting, but you know, I mean, we saw last year when Dak was injured, he played almost the whole season when Dak was injured. He didn't play terribly. Like he wasn't like the worst quarterback. I think he certainly can be better than Jake Browning. I mean, God damn. I mean,
Yeah,
um, and especially with the talent that he's given, I think that maybe that this could actually be a spot where John Harbaugh rallies the troops and could kind of help them somehow get a win here. And yeah, it's a home spot for me. The Ravens are much better at home than on the road. So, and we know how bad the Texans have been. I mean, we know how bad they are offensively right now. They're literally one. They're so predictable on offense, and their only hope on offense is to get big chunks down the field with Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz, and that's it. Like they have nothing else, and they have to hope that they get the ball out in time because they have no offensive line. And when they don't block, they have flat. They're for holding and they're getting penalties drawn against them, and then they're third and 30, third and 20, whatever it is, and their offense is just not good, bro. And for me, even though the Ravens defense hasn't been good, like I said, I think it's one of those games where they're at home. John Harbaugh is going to rally the troops here, knowing that Lamar Jackson, their leader, is not playing. They're going to run the ball, play aggressive on offense, try to take control of the ball and possession. And I think they win this game. I think honestly the Ravens win this game. So I'm on the Ravens plus 114. It's actually moving towards the Texans, so I'm waiting on it purposely because it opened at minus 125 for the Texans. Now it's minus 135, so I don't know why, but I'm gonna continue to kind of eye that. And if it goes back down, I'll pull the trigger. But I'm definitely on the Ravens in the spot, especially just being at home. Home teams have played really well this year too.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't think the again Texans their offense is so
Fifth and
bad.
Texans, yeah, defensively they're okay, but what happens if you have Derrick Henry, fucking six, like 6'10", 250-pound running back coming at you? Like, I mean, what do you do when you have that coming? Like, I don't know, dude. I mean, I feel like the Ravens they can win this game. Even though they have Cooper Rush starting, I think they can win this game. And for me, being at home, it's a better spot. If they were on the road, it might be a different story. But I think they're going to have the crowd behind them. They're going to have confidence. I think Derrick Henry will run the ball well, and it just feels like one of those spots for the Ravens.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Uh,
Next
one,
game. This one's probably going to be a brief one. I don't have a ton to talk about on this one. Uh,
yeah,
I'll
this
probably
was going to
take
be
Darren
like a pass,
Waller
basically.
again, just because he looked really good. Um,
Yeah,
and now that they're short
props to
Tyreek
you for
Hill,
that. I have to say, props to you for that. You came in. I wasn't. I mean, the only reason why I wasn't initially confident, and I'll just give everybody just a quick rundown. Justin, we were going over like bets that we had on Monday, and Justin, went over the Darren Waller over receptions prop. I think what was it, 2.5
no, for 3 plus, it was plus 350. Were the
plus
odds for
350.
3 receptions, which is
Uh,
stupid.
so and what did you laddered it?
Yeah, I threw it in a parlay and ended up smashing it.
Oh wait, I thought you said you played 2 plus and then 3 plus.
I had one bet where I had two just in case because I knew he was gonna I
Oh,
was
okay.
fully gonna but there was one where I had three. This was more of like an egregious parlay that I had with 3 receptions. And honestly, I'm kind of mad at myself that I didn't throw a or a touchdown in there too, because I had a funny feeling like he's a good enough caliber tight end to have done it, and I knew it going into it, and that's why I told you about it. I was so mad I didn't take the touchdown too, because I bet you the odds on that were just stupid.
Yeah, it was only because he hadn't played basically in a year, and he
Yeah.
hadn't even played on that team yet. That was his
Yeah,
first
no, that
game.
was yeah. His line's going to be totally different this week, but I'm mad I didn't take advantage of it because I knew he was going to do it. I had all like I just it was I mean call it a hunch. I'm just pissed I didn't take the touchdown because Jesus I could have like tripled my winnings that day, but I mean
Yeah,
Jesus I mean think of what 2 touchdowns would have done. My God.
yeah, that was the only reason why I didn't play was because of the long break, and I don't like doing that. But yeah, that
As
was
far as
good.
this game, I don't love this game.
Yeah, me neither. The only thing I have is Devon and I don't even know the odds because the odds aren't out right now for this game for some reason. I don't know why, but Devon Chan a touchdown. He's scored the ball really well, and he scored, I believe, in 13 of his last 14 games with Tua playing. Or something like that. So yeah, it feels like I might just dabble on that because I think ultimately they're going to be able to move the ball and score some points. Um, but yeah, I don't have any pick as far as the bet and spread.
Yeah.
The Panthers are just one of those teams you don't know what to expect from them week to week. They can go out there and score zero, or they'll go out there and put up a decent fight. But it feels like they give up points in their sleep, and they don't have a great defense to rely on. So I can't get to the Panthers. But I also don't like the Dolphins. I mean, obviously we all saw. Oh my God, Tyreek Hill. That injury was disgusting.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I don't think he's supposed
knees
to
should
be
not
facing
look
that
like
way.
that. Yeah, that was not good. Yeah,
I still can't
prayers
believe
for
he
that
was
man.
smiling the whole time. Like I've never seen someone so happy to like blow their entire knee out, but it's fine.
Dude, prayers to that man.
I don't think he needs it. He
Speedy
looked very
recovery.
happy. He looked very, very satisfied. Weird. It was
Yeah, I
weird.
mean,
Like most
he
people are
seems
like
like he's doing
crying,
good,
eating
but
card. No, this dude was laughing and clapping. Like he was so happy to get off that field. It was almost
listen,
unbelievable.
crazy.
I couldn't believe it. And there's like videos of like I don't know if you've seen, but there was someone who followed the ambulance with Tyreek Hill, and they were filming him, and Tyreek Hill was smiling and filming back, like he was. It's almost like he's glad he just like his knee was facing the completely wrong direction. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that was bad.
Um,
Um,
Next
yeah, that
game
was gruesome.
is
But yeah, I
I
mean,
have one bet for this game, and it's one I wouldn't usually take, but I think the Tennessee Titans cover.
yep.
Cardinals, they're not a team to be blowing out teams by more than a touchdown at all. Titans have actually, I mean, they're bad, but I think they're more than capable of covering. I actually like the plus 7.5, -112. That's like the only thing I'm probably gonna take from the team. The team sucks otherwise.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know about this one. The Cardinals' defense has been pretty decent overall. Um, they just have showed nothing on offense. Like they have no leader on offense, and they have no identity almost. Like they just have not. They don't, and they're very like, especially with no James Conner. It's like they don't have much Like they don't have much. They're not dynamic on offense, I should say. They're not dynamic, and they don't have many options to go to. So, uh, yeah, I mean, for the spread, 7.5 seems pretty wild to me. So, yeah, I would lean towards the 7.5 on the spread. I like the Cardinals still to somehow win this game because
Yeah,
the Titans' defense has just been so freaking bad, and
I
on
just
top of
don't think
that,
it's
their
gonna be
offensive
a
line is
8 point
terrible too.
game.
They can't. Dude, Cam Ward is like the most pressured quarterback in the NFL. Like their offensive line is terrible. Now, is this the week that they could rally the troops and they look better? Maybe. But I'm gonna play my money on it, and then probably not. No, because the Titans are just free falling. I mean, Cam Ward even, dude, he was calling the team out last week. Like he's a rookie quarterback calling the team out, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's where we're at with the Titans, bro. Like I can't put my money on them. Uh,
And then
so
yeah,
that's where
we can
I'm
move right on. And the
at.
next game we'll probably skim right past. I mean, I guess we could say
Yeah, I
Seahawks and move
mentioned this
on.
game to you before. The Buccaneers Seahawks. The thing is, people may not know this. The Buccaneers have a lot of injury concerns right now. I don't think there's anything major, but there are. I mean, there's a lot of people that did not practice this week, including Bucky Irving, Baker Mayfield. Like those are the main two. Obviously, Mike Evans has been out. So that I mean, they just are not in any way, any good spot here. And that's why the line is plus 154 on the road. I mean, this team is obviously, I think the Bucks are a top tier team. They're one of the best teams in the NFL or the NFC, I should say, NFL too. But I just don't think. I think the line is where it is because of the injuries. So it's just going to be a pass for me until we know what's going on there.
Next game is I honestly will probably take the Detroit Lions side of the
God
spread for the
damn,
next
10 and
one.
a
I
half.
know, and
Jesus Christ.
unfortunately, I think they cover that handedly. I don't think the Bengals touch them. Like I'm gonna be honest, they might not. They might go
Um,
another game with no touchdown. The
yeah,
Bengals
it's
are
another
horrible.
team.
Detroit Lions are obviously much better. I honestly 10.5 is kind of low if we're being honest. I mean, Bills were what 15.5 against the Saints. I think this is a much more lopsided offset or matchup here. Honestly, 10.5 seems a little low to me. I think
Yeah.
probably we might be able to move that up a little bit and increase the odds a little bit because uh, I mean we literally saw the last 2 weeks. I mean, think about it. The Bengals got 48 to what was his final score for the Vikings game? The Vikings and Bengals 2 weeks ago was like 48 to like 10 or something. And that's the
Something
Vikings.
like
They
that.
their offense looked shit too. And then the
Yeah.
Bengals go in next week and can't even put up a touchdown. Like, this line is super low. I would take that while you can and maybe mess with it because I think 10.5 is weirdly low for this matchup. Like, there's
I
no
mean,
way they come close to beating the Lions. Like, I will put a paycheck on that for sure.
yeah, I don't.
That's like the only thing I care about in this game. That is a
Yeah, I
really
don't.
low spread.
Yeah, it's another team. I mean, the Lions play a lot of man coverage, and they do get pressure on the quarterback. So, basically, going to be seeing what you saw on Monday night. If you didn't like what you saw on Monday night, you're basically going to see that again
But worse.
on Sunday. And can Jake Browning find a way to beat that coverage, beat that blitz, and beat that man coverage? I don't know. Probably not. But
Even if he
um,
does once or twice, they're not coming close to what the Lions are going to do to that
defensively,
defense. That Lions
they're
offense is
bad.
going to annihilate the Bengals. I mean,
Yeah.
you might see another 50 burger from the Lions, and they've already done it once this year. You might see another one for this game. I'm not going to lie. The Lions are more than capable of covering the over just by themselves. So
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think they can definitely. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll take the spread, but I
I'm taking the spread.
definitely lean
I
towards the
know
Lions
it
on
sounds
the spread.
crazy, 10.5, but
Um,
I don't think I've ever been more confident in a 10.5 spread.
no,
That's
it's not. It's not.
extremely low.
No, it's not crazy. It's just it's tough to get there because just I know. I mean, I just consider the actual percentages that those teams actually cover for a long term, and they just don't kind of cover that number. But
If the
I
Bengals put
do
up
like
more
that
than 14 points,
just because
I
yeah,
will
no,
be shocked.
it's pretty lopsided here. I just don't think um, the Browns are just in a bad spot here. They have
The
no
next game
defense, no offensive line. So, yeah.
Yeah, the next game should be good though. I don't know if Jaden Daniels is back. Is he back? I think he was questionable last week, so I'm assuming he'll probably be back, but maybe not because the line's a little. Well, maybe. I can see it. Chargers are home. It's Commanders at Chargers. Um, Chargers are minus 155 at home. I can see this line being with Jaden Daniels playing. I don't actually know if he's playing though.
He's still questionable. It sounds like he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna play. To be honest, I think they're gonna. I think what they're doing with him is making sure he is like 100%. Like he's like 100%, not 99, not 98. Like they're resting him until he feels like because I mean it was a knee that he had. It wasn't. I don't think anything major, but it was still a knee. So they're treating it like a baby, basically.
The
Yeah.
only thing I really like for this game is Quentin Johnson again. He's been kind of on a tear this year, and Commanders' defense, specifically in the secondary, is not great. So I do like him probably for yards. I don't see any real lines up necessarily. Nothing that I see would sway me. But waiting a few days, I will probably end up taking Quentin Johnson for either receptions or yards. Again, he's been looking really good this year.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I think he has
I
a
like
touchdown in like every
I
game
like the
too.
Chargers here at home still too.
Yeah,
I'm definitely on the Chargers, but um, yeah, it's another one of those games. I'm not really sure if I'll get there. Um, because the Chargers, I mean they gave it up last week against the Giants too. So I don't know if that was more to the credit of the Giants or the discredit of the Chargers. I don't know which one it was more of. You know,
yeah. That's why I'm
because
probably gonna
the
stay away from the
Jacksonville
money line and stuff for this one.
and the Chargers defense before that looked so good, and they didn't look really bad, but they just found a way to lose that game. And like, yeah, I mean, ultimately they should have won that game because they were playing a rookie quarterback. So for me, it's just one of those weird spots. But I like the Chargers at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the Commanders either.
Um. Yeah, we can move on to the next one. That's uh
Yeah,
Patriots at Bills. Obviously, my pick is with the Bills.
yeah.
I'm not sure about the over on this game. I might take the under. Patriots are not a high scoring offense by any means. Um, Yeah, I might take that's a very high over for the Bills and Patriots. Like I get it, the Bills are a high scoring offense, but the Patriots aren't. Um, I probably will take the under on this game, and it's prime. Yeah, I'll probably end up taking the under on. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Um, I'm
I
not
think the
really
Bills
sure what
win
I'll do for this game.
handedly.
I definitely like the Bills to win, and I'll probably honestly the only play I really like again is James Cook Tutty. I've been doing that the last like 3 weeks, and it's cashed every
Yeah,
week,
they're a
and
run
he's
first
just been on a
offense.
tear.
Yeah,
So just rinse and repeat with that. Um, but that's really the strongest play I have for betting. I definitely, I mean, I do obviously like the Bills to win because I think they're much better, but
minus four
I
twenty
still
five.
haven't. The thing I do have some concerns on the defensive side. Like they're great on the defensive side, and yeah, you're right. The Patriots aren't great on the offensive side, but the Bills defense just finds to give up points too. And I mean, unless the Patriots are just putting the ball on the ground, I think they can put up some points here. So um, for me, yeah, I don't know. I don't know as far as like the total. I don't mind an over or an under, but depends on what's the line at right now, like 50.
For yeah, it's at 49.5.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I would lean over, but I don't. I definitely won't play the total. And as far as the spread, I would I would probably lean honestly towards the Bills, but it's very close. Honestly, it's very close. Honestly, I don't mind taking or even teasing the Patriots because I think ultimately it's a division game. Remember too. I mean they do tend to keep it close in these rivalry games. It's going to be on prime time. It could be a weird cover spot. And like I said, the Bills defense has not been great. So. And on top of that, they've had some injuries too. Ed Oliver hasn't been playing. I don't know if he's going to be playing in this game. Let me actually check on that really quick. And Matt Milano has been out as well. Um, so he it looks like both of them are back at practice. So that's actually pretty good news. So if you're on the Bills side, that might be one way to the Bills as well because they might have Ed Oliver and Matt Milano back. But other than that, I'm not really too confident in the game.
Yeah, and then the last one of the week. Uh, wow, this is a shock. I get it. Jacksonville has been all right. Chiefs at Jacksonville. Chiefs are minus 175, which I actually like that line. I can't see the Chiefs losing to the Jaguars. I'll probably end up taking that.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I like the Chiefs in this spot. Um,
Minus 175 isn't horrible either. Honestly, for it being the Chiefs too, like
I think they're just gonna. I think their Chiefs are gonna turn things around. I think that last win is gonna put a fire under their ass, and they'll play. I think they're gonna look better over the next couple weeks. Their defense hasn't looked terrible. I mean, especially obviously last week they looked good, but I think their defense is starting to come around a little bit. And offensively, it's just about finding options for Patrick Mahomes to throw to. I mean, other than Travis Kelce, they have to find options to get open, and ultimately, I think they can do that. So I like the Chiefs as well. Player props wise, I don't really have anything right now, but
I don't
I'm
really think
definitely
much is up. It's a
yeah.
later game. But yeah, money line for the Chiefs. Take that all day. Um, yeah, I think that wraps it up. Truly.
That wraps it up. Yeah, I think that pretty much it. And yeah, we'll continue to do these, videos and stuff like that. Um, I guess as far as like the lives, like the picks and stuff like that. Um, I got we real quick. I guess we can talk. I don't think we went into baseball at all, but really quick, we do have a. I do have a couple plays for today. I actually had a couple plays yesterday that are going into today. I already told you about that, Justin, but I'll just talk about it a little bit here because the MLB playoffs are going on. I have because the first there's two games on in the early kind of early one's at 3 and then one's at 5. The Guardians play at 3. I have a bet on the Guardians. I actually have two bets currently on them. One that I placed yesterday was for them to win the series. I got it at plus 240. They were down 1-0, and I just think they're ultimately the better team. Played better down the stretch, and I think they ultimately come out on top, even though they're on the road or at home. Um, so I think they'll still come out on top. And then I also have the Padres money line again today because there's only three games in the series, best of three. I don't know why they do best of three in the first round, but yeah. So I have the Padres. I got actually the Padres to win the series as well yesterday at plus 295. And then I have the Padres money line again today. So those are my only plays right now. But I think it's kind of the same thing with the Padres. Padres have had one of the best bullpens in the entire league. The Cubs have kind of downfall overall as the bullpen offensively. Pete Crow Armstrong looks like he just does not look like the same player. He is not hitting well, and he's just not playing well right now. And I could say the same thing about Nico Hoerner too. So I really don't have any faith in this Cubs lineup, even though they're at home. And I think Yu Darvish and the Padres can pitch well and win. So I'm on the Padres, and I also like the Guardians at home. For the Yankees game, I don't have any current bets right now because, man, I feel like that series can go freaking anyway. It's been such a good series, and you got two pitchers on the mound that you're not really sure what to get out of them. But I'm probably a little bit more towards the Yankees, but I don't know if you have any plays for MLB.
I don't right now, but the only one I'm looking at one, probably the over for the Yankees game. But outside of that, um, I'll have to
Words.
look. I haven't really looked much into that yet. I'll do my Thursday night first, and then I'll probably jump in MLB.
All right. Well, I guess that pretty much wraps it up. Make sure if you guys enjoy, drop a like, drop comments. If you guys have plays, or if you heard any of plays that you like and that you're tailing, let us know. And hope everybody has a good week. Good luck. Any closing any closing things, Justin?
Yeah, go Birds.
All right, go Bills. All right, we'll
Yeah,
see you all
thanks for
next week.
tuning in.